Hello soulmates, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time checking out my channel, as I always say, please do consider subscribing, because on this channel I'll teach you how to do simple DIY fashion right there in the comfort of your homes, and you do not want to miss out on any of it. So today I'll be showing you how to make a peplum blouse with handkerchief flare. Okay, so this is my client's basic bodice pattern. So this is from her shoulder to her chest line. This is her shoulder to her bust point, shoulder to underbust, and shoulder to waist at the front. And similarly, this is shoulder to chest line and shoulder to waist at the back. So you'll notice that the back is shorter than the front by 2 inches, okay? So the front is 2 inches longer than the back measurement. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in her bust, her dart intake measurements. So her bust point to her bust point measurement is actually 4.25. So I'm going to put that at the front, and I'm going to take it all the way up to the bust point measurement, and I'm going to draw a straight line. Now I'm going to do the same thing also at the back. So I'm going to put from the zipper allowance. So now this zipper allowance will move because I haven't manipulated it yet to reduce the zipper bulging, but I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So this is 4 1/4. And I'm going to put the same thing on the chest line right here. And I'm going to draw my line connecting those two. But the chest, it will not go all the way to the chest line. So you're going to come down 1 inch from that point, which is here. And then I'm going to take my dart intake at the back, which is 1/2 inch on both sides, a 1 inch dart. And I'm going to connect it right there. Okay, so that takes care of the dart at the back. So let's just talk about the zipper allowance here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go in 1 inch to avoid zipper bulge. So what I'm going to do, this is my 1 inch mark, which is here. I'm going to connect it like this to the chest line, because this will allow for zipper bulging, and you're gonna do the same thing here. So this now becomes your new zipper allowance. Okay, so remember to put zipper allowance at the back. This is the new zipper allowance now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my curved part of the ruler to and blend this up, because you don't want it too sharp. Okay, so now this is the new zipper allowance. Okay, this is what you're going to cut out. So let's talk about the measurements now. So on our chest line, our bust is going to be 11.75 or 11.25 rather. So a quarter of our bust, our bust is 43 inches, and a quarter of 43 inches is going to be 10.75, and I added 1/2 inch for ease, so that's going to be 11.25 inches, which is what is here. And then I added 1 inch to join it together. At the waist, our waist is 38 inches. A quarter of 38 is 9.5. Okay, and then I added just a 1/4 inch for ease, because I don't want it too tight. So it's gonna be 9.75. So this is what you're going to have right here, 9.75. Okay, but then you're going to consider this dart right here. So that's gonna be 10.75. So 10.75 is right here, plus 1 inch to sew it together, 11.75, which is right here. So now I'm going to connect this right here. And you notice I take my measurements from the zipper here. So this here is going to be our side seam allowance. I hope you understand that. So let's go over it just a little bit more so that you could understand what I did. From this new zipper allowance, you're going to take our waist measurement. Our waist is 38 inches. A quarter of 38 is 9.5. And then I added a quarter inch for ease, which is 9.75. So 9.75 is right here. But then this dart would be another 1 inch, 10.75. Plus I need side seam allowance, which is 1 inch, which will be 11.75. So this is what I have right here. So now let's go to the front. So I'm gonna make this a princess bustier. So I'm gonna take all my measurement to this side. So on this side, I'm going to take 2 inches, a 2-inch dart. Okay, and I'm gonna take the same thing on the, so from here 2 inches dart, 2 inches here at the underbust. I'm going to connect this line. Okay, so now what you're going to do from this bust point line here, from this bust point line, you're going to go down about 3/4 of an inch. You don't want it peeking up, or 1 inch, and you're going to connect this line to this one. But you're not going to make it so straight. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your French curve or your curved ruler, and you're going to blend this area. Okay, you're going to blend this area. Also, I want a princess dart in this pattern. So what you're going to do, you're going to go to the armhole measurement and you're going to locate the midpoint. If you notice right here, I indicated my midpoint. So this is right here. And what you're going to do, you're going to make a curve. You're going to make a curve. So look at me now. At this point, you're going to go up also maybe 3/4 of an inch, which is there. Make note of that point. You're going to make a curve. Okay, from the midpoint to that point right here. Okay, so that would be my curve. So what you're going to do, I'm going to impute our side dart measurement. So our bust, as we said, we use 11.25, which is here, plus 1 inch for side seam allowance. So 11.25 is here, plus 1 inch for side seam allowance. At our waist, we said it's going to be 9.75. So we have 9.75 here, plus this 2-inch dart. So we have to add that back, which is here. Plus we're going to need side seam allowance of 1 inch, which is here. Okay? So you have your original measurement, 9.75, plus this dart that we're going to take out, which is 2 inches right there, plus our seam allowance. And I'm going to connect these lines right here. Okay, so at this point I'm going to impute bust dart, And the bust dart is going to be the measurement of the value of the back, the difference of the value from the back to the front, which is 2 inches. So right here, I'm going to impute 2 inches, which is here, and I'm going to connect it to the chest line right there. Okay, so this dart is actually going to be off. So all of this we're going to cut off, and we're also going to cut this off, but not at this point, at the curved area. So all of this also is going to be off, but we also need to manipulate this section and to not get it too sharp. So what you're going to do now, at this area, I'm going to take out about 1/2 inch. I'm going to contour this part. Take about 1/2 inch out. Okay? But before I do that, I'm going to transfer this dart to this point. So let me just separate the back from the front. Before we do that, let me talk about the neckline for the back. So for the neckline, I'm going to go down 1 inch, which is here. You're gonna go down 1 inch, and I'm gonna go over about 4 inches, which is here, and I'm going to connect it with my curved ruler. Okay, and then I'm gonna put my shoulder seam allowance. You don't want to forget this, which is 1/2 inch. And I'm gonna connect these. Okay, you're gonna do the same thing for the front, do not forget. So let's do it from now. So at the front, we did 4 inches for the width. So this is 3, so you take it along this slope, which is here. Okay, and we're going to come down about, say, 6 inches, and I'm going to just make a curve, either a rounded neck or a V neck. Okay, and then remember your 1/2 inch to join the shoulders. And I'm gonna connect this right here. Okay, so that takes care of that. So let's finish cut this out. So this is the back. Let's just finish up the front. All right, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm just gonna close up this dart right here. So let me cut this off. And I'm gonna cut this part here. To the bust point, and I'm just gonna close this up. So open this one. You're gonna cut through this princess dart now. Okay, and you're going to close this up like this. And what you're gonna notice is that this point right there is not straight anymore. You see that? It's not straight, so you have to redraw your side dart to make it straight. You have to redraw this. Okay, so this is what you're going to have. So now you see that this here have been moved to the other side. So what you're going to do at this point, to take out the excess, you're going to come down 1/2 inch. I already marked mine, which is here. And you're going to take out that measurement right there. So I'm gonna cut this piece out. What you're going to do here, blend it up, blend it up. You don't want any sharp edges, okay? Blend this up, blend it up. Blend this up like this. So all of this here, blend it so that you don't have sharp edges right here. So that's gonna go off also right here. See, all of this will go off. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this out. And remember, this is cut on fold. I'm gonna cut this out now. Okay, so now you see that these two match perfectly. Okay, so these are the patterns that you have, but there's something that you need to know. Because we took out some measurement here, there's going to be a sort of a disjoint. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to put them on each other and you're going to check for alignment. Okay, you're going to check for alignment. And you see that there is some measurements here that's missing, about 1 inch right here. You see that? So if you should check your pattern, okay, you see that there's some measurements that are missing, about 1 inch. So we're going to fill that up. We're going to fill that up right here. Okay, so you're just going to fill this up and redraw. Okay. So now we're just going to cut this off. So we know that this is fine. Now let's talk about the handkerchief flare. So from our nape to our waist is 16 inches. Okay, so it means, and she wants her total length to be 24 inches. So flare is going to be 8 inches long. So now what you're going to do, it's very easy, very simple to do. What you're going to do, you're going to take your waist measurement, you're going to add 1 to it for zipper allowance, and you're going to divide it by 6.28. So if you remember we said that our waist was 38 inches, but then when I added the 1/4 inch extra allowance, it went up to 39 inches, because we said that it's 9.5, but then we added that little 1/4 inch for ease. It basically went up to 39 inches plus 1 inch for the zipper allowance. Divide that by 6.28, you're going to get 6.14, which is the radius. That's what you're going to cut it on. So the total length, so we said that the rest of the length of this top is going to be 8 inches more, but we need 1 inch seam allowance, 1/2 inch to join it to the top, and 1/2 inch to hem. So it's going to be 9 inches. So in total, we're going to have, we added the radius, which is 6.4, to the total, to the length, which is 9, which is 15.4 inches. So now what you're going to do is that you're going to, when you could cut this on your fabric, it doesn't matter really, but pretending or that this is my fabric, I folded it into 4. See, 4, 1, 2, and then 2 again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my 15.4 inches. So I don't have that right here, but I know that when I'm cutting it on my fabric, I should. So here I have it on this side, but I don't have it on this side. So what I'm going to do, just take your radius. I'm going to show you what to do here. So assuming that this is my 15.4 inches, you're going to take your radius, which is 6.4, which is right here. Okay, and you're going to take that measurement all the way around. You take your radius. So when you take your radius, remember we said that if we should connect this, when you take your radius, if we should connect these dots right here, this would be the exact measurement. If I should go ahead and cut this off, it's gonna be too big, so I'll have to go up 1/2 inch for my seam allowance. Okay, so I'm gonna go up 1/2 inch for my seam allowance. And remember, when you're doing handkerchief flare, you're going to cut it as a square. Okay, so assuming that this is my 15.4, this is 12, so you'll have to have 12 on all the sides. So 12 right here, you're gonna have 12 also right there, and then you're just going to connect these right here. That's it. So what you're going to do is that you're going to cut this up. Because remember, you're cutting it as a square. So this is what you're gonna have for your handkerchief flare. See? Then you just turn it like this. So this would be the handkerchief flare part of the peplum. And what I did for the style that I did, I made 2 and I folded them the opposite direction. Okay, so that's what I did. So this is the fabric that I'll be using to do this project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut out my pieces. Okay, so mate, so I went ahead and I cut out each part of the blouse, the top that we're going to do. So I just want to give you an idea of what it's gonna look like. This was one that I did previously. Okay, so what I did was that the bottom of this dress was made of handkerchief flare, which is what we cut out, and then the sleeve, I did a basic sleeve underneath and a circular sleeve on top, so it gave me something that looks like this, which was really, really beautiful. This is the same thing I went ahead and did. I cut out my circular part, and this is my basic sleeve. Okay, and this here is the double handkerchief flare. This would be the front part of the, and this is the back. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to give me a giant thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell so you'll be notified each time I make a video. Until we meet again, I will see you in my next one. Bye.